Last week, I introduced you to Martu Mobile Laboratory. It was only fair to introduce you guys to the owner of it and the young fellow who established it. So, take a look at my interview and the facility.
Hi, hi, hi. How are you?
Great, I'm fine.
Great, 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 great. It's really good to have you here this morning. I know it's almost evening time in Liberia there, and your lab is closed. And I'm just
Yeah.
inconveniencing you this day, and so thank you for that. What's your name? Just tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Finney George Chong. Primarily a medical student. I'm a student doctor, and
Okay.
I try to help lead a team here at Mertu, where we are involved with testing primarily and doctor consultation, specialist doctor consultation.
Okay.
So that's basically about who I am and maybe what I do.
Okay, good. Thanks for letting us know. I'm going to call you George for the sake of this. For the sake of this conversation. So I did a recent video where my agent went to your site. I know that was your second location, right? Just
Yeah,
to clarify some things. Yeah.
exactly. It
Okay, that was
was
your
a, it
second
was a good time
location.
with the guy.
Yeah, yeah. He told me he said he enjoyed himself, and I really like the social aspect of what you guys did because you're servicing younger folks and just making it so not so formal was good. That's how you
Exactly.
mingle. That's how you get people to come. So that was good. Um, they've seen people have already seen this video, have asked what it is that you do. Can you tell us what your business is? Okay.
So Mertu Diagnostic Mobile Laboratory, now considered as Mertu Diagnosis and medical consultancy, is primarily a testing center, but we
Okay.
cannot test without doctor consultation. So we have seven specialist medical doctors. So they are
Okay.
not just regular medical doctors, they are specialists. We got two
Okay.
psychiatrists, we got two pediatricians, we have an internist, we have a gynecologist, and we have a surgeon. So basically, we are involved with medical consultancy first,
Okay.
then those doctors will order for tests, and then we can
Okay.
do follow-up treatment either at our facility, at your home, or at the office. So the thing
Oh,
is,
wonderful. Hmm.
yeah. So the thing is, there are three components of what we do. We do doctor consultation, medical consultancy. We do testing, medical testing, and then we do a mobile service, which is an added feature for convenience of our customers. So
Okay.
our clients or our patients or in my team and customers love convenience. In fact, convenience is a game right now in
Right.
business. Everybody want to have convenience services
Right.
for
Right.
them. So we do all of those things either at our facility or at the home or the office of our patients. Basically, that's a mobile service.
Okay, wonderful. So mobile service is being able to go out of a specific location to
Yeah.
perform, those testing, right? Which you then alluded to about the convenience. I mean, the world is shifting in the sense of convenience. So a lot of people may not be able to even drive the way you are, nor even have the transportation. So this service that you have, you guys can actually go to people's homes, correct?
Exactly, yes,
You can go
we
to
do
people
that.
work. Let's say I call you at my work, I'm not well. Oh, I want to do some testing. You go there too.
And
You go there.
we do that at no cost attached.
Oh wow, that's very good. That's very, very good to know. But before we go into all of this medical stuff and what inspired you to even want to open such a business?
So it's a funny thing. My dad died in 2019.
I'm
That's
sorry
just a
about
few
that.
months before we started Mertu Diagnostic Mobile Laboratory. And he had died as a result of cardiovascular related disease complications. He died in his
Okay.
sleep, and he was a real busy person. And I guess in his mind, he considered getting a doctor to see him an ordeal because of the way the traditional hospital setting is in Liberia, where you have to go and see your doctor. If you want to see your specialist, those doctors are on days. You can see them only on a particular schedule at GF or these facilities are available now. And you meet the doctor today, the next day you get your test done before the following day your results, and the doctor can prescribe and put you on a regimen, on a treatment regimen. So I guess he ignored going to hospital because of the ordeal in my cousin, and he died. He died in his sleep as a result of cardiovascular disease. So, but then I was a second year medical student. That had just been my second year in medical school, and it was a real tough time for me. But you know, first day, a lot of good things happen.
Right.
Basically, Metu is just established to ensure that nobody can lose their dad or lose their loved one.
Wonderful. So, a SaaS to return to something that can inspire a whole new generation and the people of Liberia. So that's wonderful. So, what are some of the tests that you guys do? You can just list a few of them.
So I just like to consider ourselves the middle class kind of facility, health facility, because we are not up there because we don't have what it takes to be at the very top, but we're also not to a regular clinic. So
and what are some of those things? What are some of the things as far as what it is?
So I put a lot of time to targeting those tests that are regular tests as well. Tests are not regularly found in the normal clinics around. So currently we do all the chemistry tests. That is, for example, all the kidney function tests, all the liver function tests, all the electrolytes. We do those tests. We also do lipid profile, cholesterol, and the likes. We also have an EKG machine that can be moved because we're into mobile service. So the EKG machine can be moved to your home, where we'll do your test and know the heart rate of your heart, what the EKG does. And then we also have an ultrasound machine that can be moved to your home, where the doctor can assess you at your home with the ultrasound. And then we have another machine too that is involved with the hormonal profiling. So it tests for thyroid, all the thyroid tests, and also to hormonal profiling that helps with reproduction. So that helps our gynecologists to determine whether somebody is viable for reproduction, viable reproductive system. Yeah.
Wonderful. I mean, these are really good testing that you go ahead.
Yeah, so basically we do all those tests that you can imagine that any hospital require of any patient. But what we are lacking right now is, the bigger machines that other facilities have. That's the reason why I consider ourselves the middle class kind of facility, because we don't have CT scan, we don't have an X-ray machine, and we don't have MRI machine, but we'll have those regular machines, not too regular per the case of Liberia, kind of in a hospital setting, but we have machines that we can push off. Yeah, basically.
Okay. Like I always say, 1,000 miles, that's a quote, begins with one step. And so you guys are starting from somewhere, and then eventually you accomplish your goals, whether it's the MRI machine or CT scan or the bigger X-rays. You will eventually get there. And I've talked to you, you need to maintain your focus and those that are involved. So some people might just be really curious, okay? This came up recently in my email. Who are these doctors? Because we often hear qualification issues, lack of experience and all of these things. And now you're coming out, you're a young guy, and people are now wondering, like, who are some of the doctors? What are their experiences? Can you talk to us about that?
So those doctors, they actually work at GFK. They are specialist doctors that work at GFK.
Okay.
They are all homegrown. They graduated from Chocolate where I attend, Chocolate
Okay.
College of Medicine where I attend. And then they went to the specialist program, the LCPS, Liberia College of Physicians and Surgeons.
Okay.
And they graduated. It's a 3-year program after, postgraduate program after, the medical school, where you
Okay.
stay for 3 years and then you obtain a specialist degree in your specialty that you actually went for.
Okay.
And so, and then they work at GFK. The current, all of them work at GFK, and we're just blessed to have them with us. So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
some of
Good.
them have their masters as well,
Okay.
but we actually care about a specialist degree that they have.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. I
If
don't
that
mean
actually
to.
answers your question.
It does. It does because people are curious. I mean, people are experts. If people are experts in the field, so I'm not the one to say this person may or may not know whatever. I'm just really curious because you're
If,
talking about health, right? Health is
I
wealth.
know, and that's even a good thing because those same doctors are actually working at JFK and they are seen on particular days where they are scheduled for particular days, but can be seen at our facility on any day. And they are being seen at JFK for 20 USD and can be seen at our facility for $10 and $15 respectively. So I think what we're trying to do is just to ease up the burden that people have at JFK where most of those doctors are. JFK got a lot of good doctors, very good doctors. And if we can, maybe the system there is, I wish I didn't say anything about it actually, but
Right. Which is
yeah.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to talk about your doctors here and what they do at your facility. That's very important. So how do you? This will be the last question I ask about these doctors. How do they keep up? Is that a competency? Is somebody's like reviewing their CEs? On continuing education? How do they keep up with their skills? Because the body is actually changing each day that we speak. So after they
So
graduate, they're now doctors, and how do they keep up with their skills?
So every doctor is an innate uh, tendency, it's an innate feeling to always want to improve yourself. And as much as you see patients, the more you'll be pushed to read. Let me tell you something. We don't have those old kind of patients anymore, where whatever you tell them is what they listen to. People actually know what they want. Sometimes those patients are actually knowledgeable about what is happening to them. They just want to have an expert opinion from you. So it's just an innate um, tendency to want to read and know better, coupled with the fact that doctors are challenged every day by patients and they have to be on top of that game. And besides that, there's a system that is at JFK every time where they have morning meetings. So when you go to the hospital every morning, you notice that they actually discuss the patient. So it's an entire learning process. So it's not an excuse when you graduate that you don't have to learn again. Doctors are actually pushed to learn more, basically from that desire to always learn, which is something normal. They are also pushed to learn, to keep educating themselves on new things, because medicine is not static, like you said. Medicine is something that is new. Even the equipment that we used before are not the equipment that we use now. Techniques in surgery are different from those of 20 years ago. Even the books have evolved, and everything is changing on a daily basis as discoveries come up. And then besides that, we have patients who are very knowledgeable about what is happening to them with the fact that they have internet now, have Google. They know the symptoms more than us, because imagine somebody has studied something the entire night about something that is doing them, and probably the entire week, and then they have the chance to meet you, and you are randomly meet them, and you have to extemporaneously speak to them on something that is bothering them or something that they have a knowledge about. So there's always, a crave to know more so that you don't get overlooked by a patient. And those patients expect you to know more than them, maybe after reading all those things ahead of you. So it's expected
Yeah,
that you have to
and the patient tend to know their symptoms even more than the doctors. So
know that, yeah.
it does pose a new challenge. However, based on the progress of medicine, most things now are being done via machines. And that is why, in terms of the testing now, to know what is really happening, to really see internally, because we can't really see what's happening until we run some of these testing, blood work, CT, MRI, just to see really what's happening internally. That's where medicine is going. So, doctors then should be allowed to keep up with these things, competency check, meetings, conferences, whatever it is to foster the skill. Anyway, do you have foreign doctors at your
No,
place?
no, I don't think I'll need a foreign doctor. I know Liberians and Africans as a whole would love to listen to a foreign person speak, but I actually feel that medicine, they got tropical medicine where you study diseases of the tropics, and I actually think homegrown doctors are more they are kind of study. Their mode of study is even more unique to the sicknesses that we find ourselves we find affecting us. So it only makes sense to find the very good doctors that are actually trained in Liberia. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that's a good perspective. That's a good perspective. All right, so you have this testing going on, kidney and reproductive
Liver
related tests. You have all of these testing that you conduct.
Yeah.
So again, I'm assuming then you have lab scientists and those people that actually check those things, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a very good lab technician, and for me, she's one of the best.
Okay.
A good news is that she came first five in the latest test that they did in the nation. So among all the lab technicians that we have in the nation, they did a test and she came first five.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Standards
And we
and
just
labs
happy to
for
have
credibility. So that's good. That's good. All right. So people are watching this and say, "Oh, this young man, he's so ambitious. This is a good thing. They're going to go home to do testing wherever you are at no charge." Money has to fund these things, right? Obviously, even though you go to my house and it's free, again, transportation, payment of this staff, and keeping up with the standards, it does cost money, right?
It does,
How
yeah.
do you sustain as a business if it's comfortable for you, you can respond? If it's free, how do you sustain?
Okay, so the thing is, there are many things that you lose at the beginning of a business, and we are conscious of it, and we only pray that we have help to continue this. It's something new, and people started considering to be an NGO until they started hearing the amount that we're charging for malaria tests, 200 LD, typhoid, 400 LD in the legs. And it's hard to notice that we are a regular business, and unless we be able to tell people what we do in our constraints, they won't know. So it's an everyday struggle, but sometimes you just have to lose. But at the same time, too, we actually do the test, and the test actually try to make up for the money that I spent on transportation to the homes of people. Okay. Besides, I'm happy because sometimes, when you satisfy your customer and they feel pleased with the work that you do, they actually return the favor. There are many times we have testimonies of people go to their homes and it's free of charge, and then the person says, "Okay, no, take this $5 for transportation." Okay. By the time they call, they say, "Okay, I want you to come to this place. I will sometimes
Okay.
3 times the amount of the test price. So there are those people, that do that. When we initially started with a bike, we bought a bike, a motorbike, when we started everything. And then we noticed that even the maintenance of the bike was a little bit tough for us after we had a little problem around Corona. We didn't have enough money around Corona. And then immediately after Corona, there was a serious problem economically where it couldn't help us because we had to pay the bike guy who was riding the bike, and then the maintenance of the bike, and then people took advantage of the fact that we were having a bike. So, and then, other things too it's all things too was surrounding having a bike. So what we decided to do to ensure that we sustain, our activities in terms of the home service, we decided to use any bike that were available, that is available. So right now, if you're in Congo town, you call us, we just get a bike. And sometimes when you want to do malaria test, it's 200 LD. 200 LD to go to Congo town from where we are and back is almost $200. So sometimes we just encourage you, can you please do another test? So what we did lately, we noticed that instead of just doing malaria typhoid test, why not do a joint test called routine test? The routine test has a couple of tests in it. It has malaria, typhoid, knowing your blood group. Not many persons know that blood type.
Right.
So it also has WBC, RBC to know, HB to know your blood level and your hematocrit and the likes. And also we also do urine analysis in the same something. So it's a whole package I would decide to do. So often when people call for malaria tests, we just encourage them, okay, can you just do the routine test? And then we'll tell them the amount of tests that can be done in a routine test for $1,000 LD. $1,000 LD is less than $7, I guess.
Yeah,
less than
$150 rate.
Yeah, at 150 rate. So many persons will afford paying $7 or 1,000 LD for about 9 tests. That is something that you can do at another facility, and you pay maybe 3 times the amount.
Right.
So basically, that's how actually we've been surviving with it. But we have a commitment to every patient where even if the patient decides to do only malaria test for 200 LD, we'll go there. Even if it has to be that we'll lose the money, but we must provide the service for you.
Okay, that's good. So let's say I didn't know you, and I'm listening to this, and I'm like, oh wow, what he's doing is something that is very needed or helpful for our country. How can I be a part? I don't have to be a part in terms of working with you, or even how can I join volunteering? How can I donate? Like, what can I do to also contribute to the growth of this business that you're doing?
So, firstly, we actually have challenges in terms of how we maintain and sustain our mobile service to homes and offices. Okay. We also need additional equipment. We have a new branch currently, a new facility where it's literally empty, but we use that for our medical consultancy. But we would really appreciate if we had all the equipment there to
list some of the equipment. List some of these equipment.
Okay, so we need a CBC machine, a complete blood count machine, where it will tell you whether somebody the level of WBC, RBC. It will also tell you a lot about whether the person has a viral or bacterial infection. So it's basically the most common test done for children and most common tests done for adults. So it gives a lot of clue regarding what is affecting the person and how they can treat the person. And that's something we don't have. So most of the times when people come to us to do the complete blood count, the full blood count test, we actually have to go to a sister lab, and then they give us permission. The reason why we have not been able to do that is because it's expensive. The full blood count machine is around 5,000 USD compared to the other machines that we bought for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. coupled with the custom duty attached and then transportation via the airport and all that. So it's a little bit expensive for us to really get now. And that's where we cannot function as a facility if we don't have a CBC machine, which is almost like a malaria test being done in other in any test, I mean any facility. But it's expensive. So that's the first thing. Secondly, uh, uh, maintenance of the mobile service. Thirdly, you notice that maybe you haven't noticed, but just take a look, check the records. And maybe you also do, you might even have the records because I've been trying to see how we can compare the records. There's a serious prevalence of hepatitis B in Liberia. And hepatitis, the mode of transmission is more common than HIV and AIDS.
Yeah.
If you really read on to what level it can go. So what we decided to do lately is many times we go for outreaches. We've done 6 now. And then one funny thing that happens every time we go for those outreaches, because we go for the outreach, we don't want to do hepatitis tests, right? We do tests are randomly. We got doctors consulting patients there. We carry drugs there. So 2 of those 6 outreaches I went for, 2 were partially sponsored by one guy in Painesville, and then the remaining ones were actually done by us. The first 2 were done to actually tell people that we were there. The second 2 were for humanitarian purposes. The third 2 that made it a 5th and 6th one were actually something that we did in partnership with people. We actually love to partner with people who are actually watching this video to see how we can do testing, treatment, doctor consultation free of charge for people periodically in rural Liberia. Many of those people, even as cheap as our test prices are, cannot afford the regular malaria test that is done at our facility for 200 LD. Even we split the cost, they cannot afford 100 LD for a malaria test to be done. So those people need to be tested. What I actually love that I also consider a second dire need is to have a truck that we can go into. We can do our business, but at the same time too, we can do humanitarian work.
Of course, we have
for
social
people.
obligation. Yes.
Yeah, for people. Well, we have a truck, a mobile clinic, an actual mobile clinic where we can set in a community and people go there and do tests for actually what they can afford.
Okay.
It's not business oriented, but it's something that we can do for humanitarian purposes. And I think that will make more of a change. We might want to be good business people, make money. That's a goal. But when you fall with health, it's more about the person's health over money.
Of course. It's very vital. Yes, healthcare is a business, but at the same time, you need the human aspect of things. So anyway,
yeah,
people now become very skeptical. Okay, if I donate this money to this guy, how do I even know they're going to buy this machine? What do you say to that? Like, how can they? What other means for them to say you? Yeah, how can they, provide that?
So I know that we relatively new and we just 2 years of existence, or let's say 2.5 years of existence, and it's normally associated. Like skepticism with working with newly established entities is normal, but we're actually reputable people. I'm a student doctor. An emerging doctor. I would not love for people to. I can't run away from Liberia. Besides that, besides that, we work with doctors who actually have their names and their faces on our lab, and we have big dreams for Mertu and for Liberia and the entire healthcare delivery system in Liberia. So it's something that we actually want to excel, and there's no need to be skeptical about people who have big dreams and not doing this for profits. Besides that, Mertu started from from a passionate cause, and it's actually, Beto is the name of both my mother and my auntie. So it's actually a family thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mom name is Mercy and my auntie name is Tufa. So it's
Oh,
a
wow.
combination of both Mercy and Tufa joined together, who are also two very passionate about medicine, passionate about health, and they are mothers. So there are a lot of things that have us grounded that we don't necessarily need. I mean, think that people should be skeptical about the work of us.
Okay.
Besides that, we have places, we have offices. We're not just a virtual clinic. We have offices. We have 2 offices that people can visit. We have uh, we have our website that people can see and check and know who work with, the doctors are available, the nurses, and many contacts they can have about us. Currently, one of our facilities is in a school building, at the top of a school building, where we actually provide healthcare coverage for the school that we so. I don't know
Okay.
how.
No, that's excellent. That's excellent. So if people here wants to, donate equipment, whatnot, we can definitely have them do so. We can talk more
Yeah.
I can take the initiative to talk more to even some healthcare facilities here,
Exactly.
just to get you that equipment, because obviously if the equipment is there, that's something that you guys are going to utilize. The last thing I wanted to say is, you are making history. You guys are the first entity to do mobile diagnostics, right?
Exactly, for prophecy and mobile.
Mobile in
Or mobile
Liberia.
clinic for prophecy. Yeah.
Mobile clinic for in
Yeah.
Liberia, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's good.
It's a nice feeling anyways, but we'll soon be.
It really
It's a
is.
nice feeling, but it will be short-lived because actually people will crave for convenience. Actually,
That's good.
and I
That's
know
good.
people are watching what we're doing, and they have money and they'll start doing what we're doing. So I guess it'll be short-lived. But why it's
Competition.
short-lived?
You guys are still number one.
We enjoy.
Enjoy the title.
Yeah, we enjoy the fact that we're the first, anyways.
You are the first. And once you establish brand loyalty, right? Once you establish credibility and continue to move, competition is good, but at the same time, people want quality. People want consistency, and on average, businesses don't last past 2 years. So you are here at the year 2, and you're moving, and I see that better is yet to come.
We're hitting year 3 now.
So, year 3. So you've already succeeded, for that thing that businesses typically don't even last 2 years. So you are there. And so I know there are challenges in Liberia, but we are all going to try to see how supportive we can be towards this cause, because I know it can help our people. I know people need to be tested. Prevention, I always say, is better than cure. And as you know that as well. And so you guys are doing a good job. Let me just congratulate you and your team. Continue to press on, continue to push forward. As I've said, I'm here to also be of assistance, since my field as well is healthcare administration. It's all volunteer basis. You guys can't pay me. Unless you become millionaires and start paying me. But so yes, audience, thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to donate anything, please, we can find means for you guys to donate, especially equipment. I'm not looking to collect any of your money, guys. I am just here to help this young man to expand his vision, and for our people and for himself. And if you have any form of donation, if you guys are an organization, you want to partner up and donate an equipment to him, that's fine. I am 100% willing to support this as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and stay blessed. Thank you so much, George. You have a good day, and we will talk soon. Anything to add?
That healthcare for all is all right. It's not a privilege like the way sometimes it's being perceived by people. And we actually just want to bridge the gap between the regular traditional hospital environment or setting in Liberia, what is actually needed for people. We also want to provide convenience, affordable and efficient testing, doctor consultation, and treatment for patients. And we just want to ensure that people can have healthcare, not only affordably, but some periodically free of charge. So
Okay.
that we all can reduce the mortality and morbidity rate in Liberia. And anybody partnering with Martu ensures that that is being achieved. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Wonderful, guys. Take care. And you can do more follow-up with George. I will put more info on this thing so you guys can better assess what they do. All right. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much.